we covered how we can connect the product analytics cluster to a project on GitLab.com. The process is identical for a self-managed or dedicated GitLab instance. So I'm going to run through my local dev environment, which is simulating a self-managed GitLab instance. And so if I go into my admin area and I go into settings in general, you're going to find product analytics in there. And it's going to have the same amount of information in terms of what it needs to be able to connect to the cluster. So we want to make sure we enable it, and then we enter in the information for the configurator, the collector, the cube services. And then once you hit save, you'll be able to onboard any project to your product analytics cluster. So let's go ahead and do that. So we have a couple things here. I'm just going to, for ease of use, make sure I paste all of this in. And then make sure I use the right credentials. And then the right API key for Cube. I'm going to go ahead and hit save. Now, because we're defining this at the instance level, that means any project created that doesn't have a product analytics cluster connected at the project level is going to inherit from the top level. This is useful if you want to set a default in terms of, hey, all of my projects within this instance are just going to use this product analytics cluster I have deployed in US East 1. So I'm going to create a new project and create it under a specific namespace, create the project that will complete. And then at this point, we don't have to do anything else. We can go straight to analyze and analytics dashboards and onboard the project to the instance level provider. So you can see here, use instance level settings. Otherwise, you're going to have to connect it within the project settings itself. So we're going to keep that checked and click connect. Now, wouldn't recommend connecting to a cluster from multiple GitLab instances, but for the purposes of this demo, the IDs aren't conflicting and things like that. But anyways, we can see the same things here in terms of how we can set up instrumentation. Again, we have the endpoint for our collector as well as the application ID. So at this point, we've seen how we can connect a product analytics cluster to GitLab.com at the project level and how you can connect this at a self-managed or dedicated instance at the instance level. So next steps now would be, let's set up an application to start sending events so that we can actually start to query and interrogate it.